I had another video prepared for today, but the thing I'm going to talk about is artist integrity and what I think that we should do, considering paintsundo has just been released by that guy that releases all the stuff for ControlNet. So what is paintsundo? Paintsundo is a new AI model that mimics how humans create digital art. It takes a finished image and works backwards, showing the steps an artist might have taken to create it. Now, we all know that the only reason that this exists is so people can deceive other people into thinking that they're real artists. Now, the thing with this is that when you really look up close, this actually makes it more obvious that it's AI. We're going to take a look at this real quick. This is for study, okay? So right away, this is the first thing. This is not this. These two things are completely different. Artists have patterns, and because artists have patterns of their personal style, this can never be this. An artist would never draw in a different style completely and then come to this at the end. That's not how artists' workflow works. And as you can see, like this, it's also, this is almost like clamp, right? This has the clamp-ish style, and this is generic anime dog water. Now these two, like even here, like look at this. This is, well, you can't see it. I'm going to actually turn off my character. This here and this here are two separate things. Look, it's connected down at the bottom, but up here it's connected at the top. I really don't think that's a choice that an artist would make. We're going to go look a little bit further. This is only 30 seconds, so let's see. Now it's attempting to clean it up, but it still looks really bad. And it made a choice that I don't think some artists would do. Maybe at this stage, maybe. So changing the colors of things that you're going to draw doesn't really happen too much. When it comes to drawing your art, you already have kind of in mind, I'm going to draw with this hair color and these eye colors. Sometimes you might change them, but I feel like if it's going to do it every time for these, where it's going to experiment, because it looks like it's trying to experiment with colors. But the thing is this here, like look at this. This is a completely different shade than this. It's already in the color phase. And it has different eyes, has different thing here. Even the bottom here is different. Even right here is different. It hasn't even drawn on the white part yet. But then when it does, see, look at that. Look at that. It completely like misses the line. It takes it away, it puts it back, puts two different versions of it. It adds random lighting and then takes it away. Like, it's supposed to emulate turning on and off layers, but it looks like it's faking erasing work and redoing it. And if you look right here, where was it? Here it is. Look at this. Does not tell you that this is AI. Right here and right here. And whatever that is. Like, these don't make sense. Especially when you see this. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take one of my speed paints and I'm going to put it up against one of these speed paints. And we're going to see which one looks better in general. So here's two speed paints. So right away, you can see that I'm kind of sticking to one pose and I'm kind of working out my way of drawing, and on the other side it's kind of just doing random things in random styles. So I'm going to pause right here and we're going to look at the AI one. So the AI one is going through various significant changes in composition, in coloring, in hand positions, like very late in the so late in the process that no artist would do that. Like even the style, the face style is different. And especially since it starts out with that nasty look, like it doesn't even make sense. Like when you look at mine, we're going to just go through the quick end here. You can see I do a lot of experimenting with it. And overall, the end is still the same. The style is still the same. Now, some people are going to say that this is a cope, that I am coping out because people who do AI can now prove that they speed painted, and that's the proof, and it's not. So now we need to talk about our artist integrity based on this new release. How do we as artists show people that we are the genuine item? For one, I still believe that our speed paints are significantly better, and they might say speed paints might get better. But the reason why it can't get better is because it's showing a step-by-step process, sort of how it diffused itself. And that is different than how artists work. because you can see it has style differences, it has significant composition differences, and artists don't do that. Now, I'm saying that if someone says you use AI, which I get on my shorts all the time, what can we do to show? Well, for one, I don't know if I can, I would have to show my layers, for one. That's a good way, but I feel like showing your layers is not a bad way. I don't think that AI is going to be able to pretend to be Procreate and pretend to be Adobe. I think that recording, if you're going to do art, if you recorded some of your beginning process, and the thing is your mark making is always going to be significantly better than an AI Speedpaint, because I said earlier, it's trained on probably dozens of artists. And because it's done that, it doesn't actually know how to make a specific pattern for a specific style. So it just imitates doing the thing, which it knows takes some away, adds some, takes some away, adds some. It doesn't have the context of why we do those things. I think another way of keeping your artist's integrity is drawing on paper. I know that some digital artists are going to be like, but Nimbus, I only started with digital art. Well, listen friendly. In a world where AI does speed paints and pretends to be artists, you need to set yourself apart from those people. And I'm not saying you need to jump right into it. I'm saying just get a sketchbook and keep one. It doesn't matter what's inside. All that matters is that you drew it. I would also say another way to keep your artist's integrity is if you're not on social media, it's time for you to get one. It doesn't matter what it is. Get a Cara, get an Artful, get something. Have a website of your own. Have something where you post your content and people can see it. Even if it's watermarked, overly watermarked. Watermark it to hell, because I'm finding that it's going to be more difficult for artists who don't have a social media presence before 2022 to be believed to be a real artist unless there's significant artwork posted on their social media account. For someone to believe you anyway, or unless somebody knows you personally. So I think that the art community might become tighter because of this, and I think that's a good thing. But I also think that, it's going to be harder for new baby artists, which is, what my content is usually made for, and int artists to, come around and find themselves. If you're really upset because you saw this today or you heard about it, I wouldn't worry about this. This is just a method to deceive people, and it might fool some people, but humans are really good at finding things that are wrong. Humans have a great bullshit detector, especially when it comes to AI. AI has to try to fool humans, and that's why it's made, right? It's made to fool a human. But it only takes one person to find out how you found out that it was AI, and then everyone can see what is AI. That's why most people can tell when ChatGPT is talking to them. So please, for your own good, if you don't have a social media presence or a social media account where you can post your work, get something. Get something now, and start posting something. Post here and there. You don't gotta post often. Just post something. Another thing, get a sketchbook. Just do your studies in it. You don't actually have to draw your stuff in there. Just do studies. That's what I do. I just work on stuff. Some of my stuff is super ugly in there, and that's fine. I don't even know if I'm going to show my sketchbook. But AI is questioning artists' integrity, and the only way that you can prove that you're a real artist is to prove that you can draw on paper. Now, I know people can trace using that AR thing, that augmented reality thing, but you can tell that it was drawn like that. I think that we just need to understand that some people want to pretend to be an artist real bad, and they'll never truly be artists. If you skip the work, you can't be an artist. That's just how it works. So if you have any suggestions, for realsies, if you have suggestions on what people could do to prove their work, please leave a comment below. Otherwise, please remember that I do have a video on Nightshade that should keep your work out of AI, hopefully. So feel free to check that out. I go over how it works and how I used it, and I'll see you in the next one, friends.